Good morning and welcome back to White Mountains Today here on White Mountain TV 16. Joining us right here is Will Broussard from the Mount Washington Observatory. Will, how are you?
I'm good, Rob. Thanks for asking.
We haven't seen you in a while.
Absolutely. Well, I've been busy. Been going 6.5 years now at the observatory, and as I've been going, gosh, the education program just keeps getting more popular. I've been on the road a lot this winter, so I'm sorry I haven't been around, but it's been nice. I'm looking forward to getting out and up to the mountain a bit this winter.
I can imagine. Now, so let's give a quick little overview of what you do. You go to schools and libraries. You travel all over telling people about the weather in the observatory.
Yeah, I'm kind of one of the voices of the mountain. You know, we heard from Adam earlier from the summit itself, but as outreach coordinator, my work focuses on getting the word about what we do in education, observation, and research out to New England and beyond. We do that in a number of ways, actually. We do outreach through classroom work, so I go into the classrooms K through 12 and even beyond into college. We teach about weather and climate and the work of the weather observers. But we also have a distance learning program where observers like Adam and the rest can be beamed into classrooms via video conference. So we have that going as well. We can go all over the world through the internet that way, and through Facebook Live and things like that.
So just great educational opportunities.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Mount Washington is just this unique backyard laboratory, we call it, where we can bring people to the summit directly. Another program that we've introduced a couple years ago is called Arctic Wednesdays, where we bring school teachers up. Unfortunately, we don't have the capacity to bring whole classes up in the winter, but we can bring school teachers up and they can report their experience back to their classroom, either directly from the summit or through programs pre and after the visit.
Yeah, which is such a great opportunity. Both for the teachers, but also for their students. When they can, then the students can make that connection because their teacher got to go up there, and it definitely links the two together.
Yeah, well, 3 years ago we had some of our first cohort go up, and a couple teachers from Freiburg Academy came up, and a lot of these students in the absolute backyard of Mount Washington haven't visited Mount Washington before, but now after that experience of connecting with their teacher who's been up there, they look up there in a different way. They know people are up there living and working and studying the environment up there.
Absolutely. And, like you say, when you make that connection, of course, I've traveled up Mount Washington numerous times in the summer. And then I was fortunate enough to do an edu trip probably about 10 years ago now. Mm-hmm. And you look at it a little bit differently because you got a chance to see it. And you have day trips, so you can do that. If you can't do the weekend thing with the edu trip, you've got a day trip or day trips.
Yeah, absolutely. So every winter we have that opportunity to bring members of the public up. Usually on Mondays, some select Fridays. We have all of our available trips online, our dates online. But this is a quick visit to the summit. In the middle of winter, we meet in the morning at the base of the auto road. We take a snow tractor up, stop in a number of locations, get them up to the summit for a number of activities, including a hot lunch and tour of the observatory, get outside in the wind. Days like yesterday didn't have much wind at all. So it's such a hit or miss experience sometimes when you get beautiful weather like yesterday. But tomorrow I'm actually leading the first trip of the season, and we're expecting to have very high winds early in the morning and then dropping down to calm, by early afternoon. So as we all know, the alpine zone in Mount Washington changes just like that.
Oh, absolutely. And like you say, that while there was no wind yesterday, it would have been a spectacular day up there on the summit.
Absolutely.
So you have the balances of whether it's windy or not windy or snowy or not snowy. It's always spectacular. I mean, it's always a great opportunity. And to go up in the winter, I mean, in a way, it's still a pretty elite club of people who've been up there in the winter over the years. I mean, there's thousands, but still comparatively. So getting that opportunity in the winter is a great experience.
Yeah, for sure. We only have these programs running a couple times a week. And our snowcat can only fit so many people. So it's a smaller group of people that go up, but it's exclusive. You have a smaller group that experience this weather together, and they, many of these folks meet and they become friends for life, and many of these folks are also kind of the entree into other programs on the summit, like our Summit Volunteer Program, where folks can visit and literally live and work alongside the observers for a week at a time. their task is cooking dinner, which seems, pretty nice. You get to cook dinner for the observers, but you get to experience life on the summit, and the whole day can be spent, trekking around the summit, going off for further hikes, and really learning more in depth about what the observers are up to.
Absolutely. Now, you need to be a member to be able to do that volunteer activity.
Yeah, absolutely. So membership grants you a number of perks, but one of the biggest that we've developed is the Summit Volunteer Program.
Yeah.
And it gives you some discounts on the day trip and edu trip and our merchandise as well.
Absolutely. So what else has been going on with the summit? I mean, it's been a while, but you've got a lot of other activities planned for Mount Washington.
Oh, absolutely. So, of course, ongoing is our Weather Discovery Center. That's kind of the public face of the observatory down here in the valley, and we encourage families and visitors to the valley to come visit us. Again, an entree into what we do up on the summit of Mount Washington, but it's broader than that. We have a lot of information about the history of the region, history of occupation on the summit. We also have a really nice weather store, basically a gift shop, but it's more than that. It's a science store. You can get all kinds of
stuff,
gadgets and toys. We've really worked hard to keep that kind of cutting edge. So that's pretty exciting. And I go down there just to look at what new stuff we've got, which is pretty exciting. And as you mentioned earlier, of course, every summer we have our largest fundraiser of the year, Seek the Peak, which I am happy to be involved with. I often help out with the logistics, but then I usually lead a walk down in the valley. So every Seek the Peak that we do, we encourage folks to get out and hike. They don't have to do Mount Washington. We call it Seek Your Peak in a way, because we just love it when folks can get outside and experience the wilderness, the natural side of this area that we live in, this beautiful area. So I'm more of a environmental educator, so I love bringing out people outside, looking at wildlife, tracking birds, bird song, that sort of thing. And anything that happens around Mount Washington is just fine in our book.
It is, and it's such a great opportunity that we have it right here, for us in our backyard and for visitors coming up here, being able to go up and having the opportunities year round is quite amazing, and being able to see it. And like you say, yesterday being a beautiful day, what a great opportunity to be up on top of the world, basically, and look around.
Yeah, you can be up there on a calm day like yesterday, and I'm sorry I missed that sunset. I saw those photos. That was incredible.
Yeah.
But you can be up there and see literally 130 miles on one day, and then 12 hours later or 5 minutes later, you can be socked in the fog and you can see 50 feet, maybe not even your hand in front of your face. It's incredible how quickly it changes and how dramatically it changes, for sure.
Yeah, and but just a fun spot, no matter the time of year.
Oh yeah, there's something for everyone.
Yeah, and I, of course, I'm enough of a weather geek, so I check out the website a lot and see what the peak gusts are and what the weather has been doing over the last 24 hours.
Absolutely. We know that folks from around the country and even around the world will often look at our page, either our Facebook page or our web page, first thing in the morning, just see what it's like up on Mount Washington.
Right.
Or if they're feeling cold or wherever they are, they'll look at what's going on, the summit conditions, and think, oh, maybe it's not so bad where I am.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I have a little weather station in my kitchen. I think got it from the Observatory gift shop, and with the wind and everything else, and it's always kind of like, wow, we have a peak gust of 9 miles an hour or 15 miles an hour, and then you go on the website and it's 73 miles an hour up there on the summit.
Oh, absolutely, and it can be calm down here and be gusting to 105 up on the summit. It's worlds away, but as the crow flies, just 20 miles away. It's
absolutely
amazing.
Very cool, very cool. Well, Will, any last thoughts you want to leave us with this morning?
Oh, well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm excited to be on the board of Tin Mountain. This is a bit separate from my work at the observatory, but again, just trying to get people out and about. Yesterday, I led a really nice walk up north of the Notches, so I'm looking forward to programming with them this spring and with the Auto Road. So keep your eyes and ears out for outdoor programming this spring. We'd love to get you up to the summit through a day and overnight, but if not, that's just fine too, and love to help you out and get you out there.
That sounds great. Well, Will, great to see you again.
Absolutely.
And I'm sure we'll see you again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Rob.
And definitely check out mountwashington.org, and you can find out all the information, find out about the trips if you want to sign up for those, And take a look at a bunch of the pictures, and then after a few days doing that, you'll go, I want to go up there. So,
Great.
and we'll be back here in a minute on White Mountains Today.